This month's Artist of the Month at the Troy Public Library is Michael Curtis. Educated at Wayne State University, Mr. Curtis holds a Bachelor's of Science degree in Art Education and a Master's in Fine Art. His 18 years of teaching experience is not solely limited to the classrooms, for he is also known widely for his numerous television demonstrations. Your work is very expressive, very soft. How do you get this dreamy quality?
Much of the so-called dreamy quality of the painting is a combination of the pale colors. Most people think that, for example, the color white is a very weak color, but it is not. It's a very strong color, and much light is reflected from the white in place of the black. In other words, black absorbs light considerably, and the effect of a lot of white against the grays and so forth perhaps gives you that illusion of dreaminess.
Nice.
But the values between the grays and the whites are quite well defined. And I think if you look at these paintings, you'll get that impression.
You have a lot of very nice works here. I understand you also do some commercial art.
Yes, I have done logos. I have done, for example, trademarks and things, designing flags, and I have done some commercial art illustration. And I have done a number of things for, well, that I worked with Laudriere Studios for a little while, and I did pick up some good hints working as a commercial artist. But the advent of photography, color photography, sort of took the steam out of the illustrators in those days.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, getting back to your other works, I understand your work is represented in a number of major collections. Not so much collections, but exhibits.
Well, I have exhibited very widely in shows. In Michigan, Ohio, the Butler Institute show, and the Chicago Art Institute, and the Detroit Institute of Arts. And I've had some pretty good success in maybe minor shows too. I was with the rental gallery of the Founders Society for a number of years, and in its inception, and it was very profitable. I got a lot of good contacts there, and it really was a shame that the Founders Society dropped the rental gallery. But I have been with the rental gallery in Toledo, the Toledo Museum, and I expect probably I will take some of my paintings to other museums that do have rental galleries, for example in Windsor and in London, Ontario, which has a very nice rental gallery there.
Getting back to maybe some of the more commercial aspects of the art, how do you feel as an artist about the purchase of art more for its investment value than, say, its entertainment value?
Well, I think that in my experience, I found that people like art to complement their surroundings. And most people that are really into collections, private collections, do it, I think, with the idea of speculating on them and perhaps making money off of them in the future. You can't go wrong with the old masters, of course, and Vincent van Gogh is a typical example. However, Van Gogh painted 800 paintings, and he died at the age of 39 in his lifetime there, and it was a very difficult life that he led. And depends on your philosophy. I live a very good life, and I've had a very fine life doing what I wanted to do, which included teaching art and imparting this tremendous kind of thrill that you get from creating something to other people, and it's been a real joy for me.
Okay. Getting to the teaching, I understand. I've been reading. There's these. What are these so-called polymer paints?
Polymer paints have been with us for a long time. I think since 1900. They were originally developed in Germany, and I can't recall the name of the company, but it's a huge chemical firm, Farber, or one of the big companies in Germany, developed around 1900. And artists began to pick up the product because it's a much better product than, say, for example, a much better medium than oils, which have turpentine and linseed oil. These things have proved to be a little bit harmful. And for many, many years, I did paint in oils, and I ran across a lot of problems. For example, in the drying process, the linseed oil would turn to a chemical called linoxin and begin to dry out, and the colors would change. And with acrylic paint, it's remarkable. You have the same pigment, which is an oil, the same powdered pigment, which is an oil paint, but you have a different medium in which the material is mixed.
I see.
And this medium has been used by the Mexican muralists for outdoor murals in Mexico City. Now that since 1900, 1910. So it can't be all that bad. And they're still in. If you've ever been to Mexico City and seen the marvelous murals there, it can't be all that bad.
Do they? So then you're saying that the
more permanent too.
So you're saying the acrylics last longer?
I would think that the acrylics have more permanency than the oils. Oils have been with us for maybe 300-400 years, and actually it's a relatively new medium, oils. Now I think that with the acrylics, possibly it would last much longer than that even.
Okay, well, let's.
So I'm firmly sold on it, because not only is it healthy, if your child happens to pick up a tube and eat some of it, there's no problem, you know. And he wouldn't get sick, but if he had, you know.
So aside from it lasting longer, does it handle?
Colors are brighter. Yes, it is. It's very difficult. It's a much more difficult medium to handle than oils. First of all, it dries much faster. And the other problem, I think, with acrylics is that the colors come out much brighter, and they remain brighter. So you can't get this soft subtlety. Now this takes a lot of skill to bring in the grays and the lights that you see in this exhibit today.
Yes, I can.
And a lot of time working with the acrylics, yes. And I finished a mural here last summer in a public school in Detroit, in the library, and I did 14 4x4-foot panels. They were all in acrylics. And they were mounted on masonite, which is a very good medium. And the mural was a really stunning success. Everyone liked it. It was based on the Grimm's fairy tales, and turned out very well.
Sounds very nice.
Yes.
One last question then. All of your works of this style, do you, aside from your commercial artwork, do you branch out in other works?
I have a lot of abstract expressionist work, but to be able to communicate my personal ideas to you takes a lot longer. Something like this you get instantly, and I just feel that there just isn't the time that we, there is to communicate, to say the people that I